All right, come on. Thank you. Okay, then you can push graph. Right, and we can see the one it graphs first is the f of x, okay, the one you put in there first. If you graph them both, then you don't see which one goes first, then it's hard to tell which is which sometimes, okay? So watch which one graphs first. It's going to be this one. That's this one. And we said it would move left 3 and up 2, all right? So it did, all right? You can tell that it did here on the graph. All right, again, sometimes they're not going to be as easy to tell what's going on. That's why we did it without looking at the graph first. We just looked at the equations and figured it out because you really don't need the graph. I just like to show y'all to prove that it really did happen. Any questions on that one? Okay, all right, let's do number 3. All right, I'm going to do f of x equals 4 to the x power. And g of x equals 4 to the 3x minus 5 power. All right, so how many transformations did we have starting with the f of x to g of x? 2, right? The 3 does something, and this minus 5 does something, right? Those are the 2 things that do something. Who knows what they do? All right. I'll get you on the next one. Shrink, what kind of shrink, Araceli? Horizontal or vertical? If it's up in the exponent, here's how you can remember. Okay, we'll look and see which one. All right. Up in the exponent, good. All right. You have to flip it. That's why even though it's a whole number, it's 3. If it's up in the exponent, that's horizontal. Stretch or shrink. And we flip it to 1/3, then it's a shrink by 1/3, right? So we'll do h shrink by 1/3. Right, and Jessica C. What does that minus 5 do then? All right, right, yes, okay. In the exponent, plus is left, minus is right. Okay, so it moved right 5. All right, so horizontal shrink by 1/3 and right 5. Okay, and I do want to draw a graph of this one because the shrinks and the stretches are kind of the most complicated ones to visualize, I think. So it'll be easiest if we draw a picture of it so we know what we're looking for. Okay, this one's going to be, I'm just going to do a real basic graph without the numbers because, again, it's going to have a lot of decimals. Okay, so my f of x, it does go through 1, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right in here. And again, it's getting closer and closer to 0. And my g of x, horizontal shrink means, horizontal means it's going side to side. Shrink means we're smushing it this way. Okay, smushing it this way. So it's getting closer and closer to the y-axis. Right, so while we think, okay, it's going to move right 5, you know, it would be like over all the way over here. Because it shrinks, it gets smushed really close, and it's going to be going up a lot closer to the other one. Goes up a lot faster and steeper because, again, the blue one was shrunk inward. Okay, and if I put it in my calculator, you can see it, but it's kind of hard to see. Okay, but all of these, if you need to check it and make sure you're doing it right, go for it. Okay, 4 to the 3x minus 5. All right, I can see my first one right there. My second one is just going to look like it's more of a straight up and down almost. See, it goes flat and then almost straight up. Right? Even though we said it moved right 5, it's hard to see that because it also got squished, right? Squeezed inward. Any questions on that one? Okay. Last exponential one we're going to do is f of x equals e to the negative x. And my g of x is going to be negative 1/8 e to the negative x. All right, what are some transformations that you see? You can just tell me what it looks like, what the equation says. All right. Right. Both of those are correct. Okay. One thing that I want to point out is even though it's a negative x, if it's a negative x,